welcome to the Relume live stream.
What?
In the purple corner, in the orange corner.
To style a single page wireframe made up of Relume components. The secret theme is NFTs and Web3. After 30 minutes is up, the audience on YouTube, that's you guys, you will vote the winner via the live chat poll. Hello everybody, welcome to the Relume live stream. You are watching the Relume Design League. Today is for third, so we are super excited to have Nicolo, Miranda, and Grace Walker going head to head in the Figma Arena. And also, today is also the day that we are collaborating with 776, as we talked about in our last match. So to be clear, this is not client work. Both 776 and the players know this, and now you know it. There is a huge distinction between a 30-minute design and actual client work. So for the record, just want to put it out there. This, as usual, is always all for fun. So nice announcements. We have the RDL Twitter challenge still going on. So hop into Figma and find Relume in the community page. Download all these free matches, and you can go and try it out yourself. And then, post it on Twitter, hashtag RDL2. We will find the top designs, and we are going to announce some prizes for the giveaway next week on the final. So, okay, co-hosting with me, we have Reimer Tirado back in the house, Eric Odom, and Lauren Andres. So that is going to be a really fun time together. Also, we have special guest judges. Corey Moan and Johnny Gomez from Webflow will be judging who will be the winner for today. All right, so before we jump into the sponsor video, let me know in the chat where you guys are all streaming from. All right, let's do it. Thank you to Weglot for sponsoring this stream. Weglot is a leading no-code website translation solution. If you are tired of duplicating your website for multiple markets and then struggling to manually translate each one, or not even sure where to begin, don't worry. Adding languages to your site shouldn't have to be complicated, and this is where Weglot really comes into play. Simple, fast, and no-code way to translate your Webflow site, or any website for that matter, into any language. You can launch your translated site instantly and remove all the manual processes of website translation. Weglot combines machine, human translation, and full editing control for translation quality at scale. It is the easiest way to translate your site. So guys, if you want to expand your reach and connect with a global audience, then try Weglot's 10-day free trial today. Check out the link in the description. Thanks, Weglot. All right. This is it. It is for third place. Before we bring on the players, I just want to take this time to honor Grace and Nicolo. It takes a lot to come back after a loss and, say that you're still willing to play. To me, that is where it's at. I think the biggest opportunity in growth and character development often comes after you fall. It's humbling and sometimes it sucks, but choosing to get back up and having the resilience to give it another go, in my mind, that's the stuff that champions are made of. So I just wanted to acknowledge them. And with that, it is my privilege and honor to host Grace Walker and Nicolo Miranda back onto the Figma Arena to play once more. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's bring on the players.
Hey guys.
How's it going, everyone?
Good. Thanks for having us again. And especially having fun, Josh. You forget. Because if you don't having fun, probably...
That's right.
That's not your right job, probably.
Yeah. And you have to have fun when it's at 9 o'clock all the way in Amsterdam. So thank you for, just braving the day and still just finishing out with the bang. So
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Reimer, Eric, let's bring on the show.
Is that a 9-hour time span between the contenders? Who's taking odds? The odds makers got to take that into account here. So just wanted to give a shout out. What's up? I see Isabel in the comments. Maria, hello. Tony Seats, what's up? Devin, let's freaking go, he says. Let's see, Brandon, Waldo, we got the whole squad is here today. Hello,
Nice.
Noah. Johnny Gomez, what's up? I see you and Corey judging back there. Don't worry if you're out there and you're trying to get a little sneaky link. I got direct access to both those guys. So you just, shoot me a little Venmo. We'll take care of that. People are coming in from everywhere too. Hello from Ukraine. Hit that like button, Johnny says. Vancouver, Oxford's in the house. UK is here. Jakarta,
Nigeria.
3 a.m. So yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
Edmonton, Alberta. Dang. What's up, Eric? You take it. What do you got, man? How are you feeling today?
Man, I'm doing great. Waking up from this food coma. Just ate lunch a little bit ago, and I'm ready to get into this Relume design link, see Grace and Nicolo knock it out of the park and have a lot of fun. I've had a sneak peek at the theme that Josh is going to debut in a little bit, and it's incredible. So I'm waiting to see what's
So
going to
if
happen.
we hear snoring mid-match, basically Eric's over there just like clocked out, huh?
Yeah, and it's not a reflection on this. It's a reflection on the food that I had, and it was incredible. So.
Well, we just found out today Lauren's like the Lego extraordinaire over there. She's like the the mega Lego builder extraordinaire. So it'd be cool to have your take here from Figma, right?
Yep, my past life I think it was now like
past
7
life,
or
past
so.
life. Sorry, past life now.
Yep, but still
What are you
a
feeling?
fun...
It's your first time doing like a commentating thing, right? For the Relume Design League. So how are you feeling?
I'm at number 3 now. This is
Yeah,
my third
she's
one.
but
I just
yeah,
haven't
first
been
time
on
you
with
guys
you.
together.
Okay. Ooh, sorry.
Yeah, but I'm
like the pro.
excited. I got my popcorn. I'm ready to watch the show. I'm excited.
Literally popcorn.
So good, so good. All right.
Nice.
Well, Grace Walker, how are you feeling today? Third time.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I feel like the first 2 I was super nervous for, and we're having fun. Nicolo and I are gonna do some really fun designs today. I think the subject's gonna be awesome. So yeah, I'm just stoked to come back for a 3rd round and give it another go.
Fantastic. That's great. And Nicolo, I think there's a story you want to share from your last match, and I wonder if you can learn your lesson.
You know that they understand that it was an e-commerce, you say?
Yeah.
Well, they basically see the products when we finish the design. Yes, that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so will you have? I think while we have you, you are working on an amazing course, right? So you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're building like this course with Awards Massive and CGMA. It's going to be like a huge masterclass, published on Awards very soon. Yeah, super excited, super tired, but it's something that I've never seen before online, and we think that to be like kind of like game changing, also like for people that want to start their professional careers in design development. It's a full course from design to development, and it's quite crazy. It's really fun. It's really fun, and also like a lot organized.
Nice. And it's launching next week. Is that right?
I think so. Depending on the editing part, but I mean the guys from Awards Domestica, they're great. They're building and they're doing like a great job. Editors, scriptwriters. I'm very lucky, very grateful for this.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, guys, if you haven't taken Nicolo's course on Awards and you guys should check out his upcoming one. Give him some love. He is so organized in like his Figma files, and then apparently this new upcoming course is just like 10x more than that. So and then I'm just waiting on on Grace to create grid paper so I can buy that.
Oh man, I actually saw someone online on Twitter posted a while ago this grid paper that has 6 blocks for 6 days of the week, which is exactly what I do on my own grid paper. And I lost the link for it, and I'm just like heartbroken, but maybe I'll have to release my own custom grid paper for the
Yeah.
for the folks.
Yep, we'll be lining for that for sure. All right, Lauren, do you have any questions for Nicolo and Grace before we jump into the arena?
I think I don't think so. I'm ready to get excited. I want to see what the thing is.
Action. Let's go. Okay, Grace, Nicolo, you ready to go?
Yes.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Here are the rules for the Relume Design League. Players go head-to-head in the Figma Arena to style a single-page wireframe in 30 minutes. Each match reveals a theme with a unique style and subject, which includes a set of mood boards, product assets, and images. Each wireframe is built using the Relume library components with copywriting updated to match the theme. During the match, players are encouraged to use the recommended assets to style the wireframe. However, they can change that to the design as they see fit. When the time is up, the designs are presented to the audience and judges. The champion of the match is determined by winning the majority of the votes by the audience via YouTube live chat polls and the judges. And those are the rules for the Relume Design League. All right, everybody, here we are. Let's get right into it. So, we have the mystery theme for this match. It is soccer athletic theme. Okay, so we got a lot of fun assets, but as usual, let's go over to the wireframe. Follow me in Figma, please, and we're gonna get started. So, all right, first we have nav bar 9 at the top. We have some drop-down nav links with the CTA buttons. We got schedule tickets. Just to clarify for Nicolo, this is not an e-commerce store. Well, almost with tickets, but it's different. It's not your typical. We also have the Weglot language switcher component for ease of translation into other languages. So shout out to Weglot for sponsoring us. Okay, then we have header 102. Now, this is one of Relume's newest component with a header lockup on the left. Oh, I noticed that. Hang on here. Okay. I think there's some funny things with the stream here. Okay, anyway, all right, here we go. One of Relume's newest component with the header lockup on the left, image slider on the right. This is really cool, and it's good to siphon through different features of what Angel City is doing. So also not just another football club. And then we have table 2. It's a unique table component list. It's listing all the season schedule here, so that's really neat. And then down below we have blog 6 to highlight Angel City's news and updates. Pretty straightforward. There's just some nice imagery placeholders here, and then going down we have a large CTA 27 with image background. Now this is just featuring the merchandise, so a lot of space for exploration and creative expression here. And then below we have Team 10 component. It's a 3-column grid, and there's a little bit of a sneak of the other image, and this is just highlighting all the team rosters here. So whether you match the right image to the right name, that'll be bonus. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. And then we have logo 1. Typical, laying out all the partners and their logos, and then finally wrapping up with footer 2, a lot of socials. You got the quick links and email sign up, as well as the language switcher from Weglot. So, okay, that is it. So I would say this is probably the tricky component here with tables. So my quick hint here, or tip, is if you want, just copy that and bring it over to your blank wireframe. All right, next, let's go over here. So we have the sports-inspired web layouts here, right? These are Angel City's brand colors if you want to use it. We have Asphalt, Sol Rosa, and Armor. Really nice. Yeah, really neat. There's really a lot of different styles here. You can't go wrong, even with topography. It's very open-ended, so whatever you use, I think you're pretty good. We're also adding in like a splash of color. This is like your typical grid layout here. Large imagery. This is similar to our header component, right, with the slider. And then, yeah, really strong imagery, a lot of action. And then this is some nice, cool, fun inspiration if you want to just make it wild with some neon colors, some like street collage, very unique. Really, it's just like throwing in some images on top of each other. And if you want to put in some rectangles, add a little color and spice to it, you're all good. Same with this too. It seems complicated, but really, if you just add in a player outline or a player asset with a background and then some text, throw some more color, be pretty good. I really like this really unique circular oval. That's really cool. Okay, coming down over here, we have some really cool, exciting assets of the players. We have soccer balls, and then we have the full roster here. So this is the powerhouse team, Angel City. And then we have a selection of merchandise. We got jackets, backpacks, hats, really cool stuff. And finally, we have the photography assets. A lot of action. We got photos of training, game photos, different types, different stadiums, a lot of celebration, and then some community photos, right? They're very involved in community outreach, impact. Yeah, really, really good stuff. And then we have some logos for branding, and then some fun shapes. And then we have created custom assets for you. I think you can separate this if you want. Right over there, yeah. So that's really cool. You can surround that to a player, and then nice little banner and some cool like marker arrows and stuff like that. So, and that wraps up the assets. So we're making the mystery item pretty simple. So we're gonna open up the poll. A is angel feathers, and they are colored in the brand colors, but you can actually open there and change the linear colors to whatever you want. And then we have a crest. So that's that. So Grace, want to hear your thoughts on the assets?
I am stoked. I was hoping that it would be like something sports related, team related. So
Nice.
yeah, I think just the variety of the assets, especially the isolated images, I'm particularly excited about, with like isolated action shots, headshots, soccer balls. Like, I think those are going to be really playful.
Nice. Niccolò, what about yourself? Oh, I think you're muted. Yes, you have muted yourself.
I'm sorry, guys. No, I was saying, no, love the vibes. Love the assets, also the structure, the colors. I think we are going to have fun. Right now, I'm seeing also like the assets, so I saw it this time. So I guess really take care about that. Yeah, super excited.
Okay, cool. You ready to start?
Let's do this.
All right, let me wind up the RDL2 playlist. And in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
All right.
Immediately to a dark mode over at Nicolo's side.
Yeah.
Damn, and just like that, Grace got the color scheme again.
Nice.
I think she did that last time. That was
She's got a system, and she followed. Love it.
Yeah.
Grace, I told
Got
you,
the
thank you so
angled
Yeah, it's
element
always
in there.
exciting to see
Give
where
it
they
some
go
motion
first.
already.
Yeah. Matching a little bit of the gradient from the mystery item, and also the diagonal line of the little shield there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they'll what approach they'll take. I know there's been some different approaches in the last couple matches where some people go and they mock out the whole board, and then some people kind of spend some time on the different sections. And it'll be interesting to see if at this point if there's a specific format advantage that's been defined here, where it's a kind of everyone's just going to do the same thing, or will we still see some variety in how they attack the page?
Mm-hmm.
It's always so cool. Actually, this is the first time in RDL, because last time we had a 4-player tournament, but this is the first time we are seeing players do it for the 3rd time. They know the rules, and each iteration, each time, it's just so much faster. So this is awesome. And they're taking the same approach, just tackling the hero hitter section. Guys, if you have any questions for Grace and Niccolò regarding their design, make sure you add a big giant Q with it followed by a colon, and I can search it, and we'll have the players answer your questions at the end. I'm just gonna
For sure, they're both on they're both off the wireframe, the original wireframe, which I think is now the consistent move in the match. I don't. All the ones that I've seen, like the early matches, everyone was like in the wireframe trying to like manipulate the existing wireframe, and now it looks like overwhelmingly the trend is to just create your own right next to it, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying about
And I think that
things
kind of
evolving as strategies.
I think that that follows along the lines of a lot of how designers will work, especially web design, where you'll have an information architecture phase, and then a wireframe phase, and then a high fidelity phase. So the IA phase and the wireframe phase is kind of already done here if you take this approach, and now those decisions are made, and you just build using that reference.
Mhm.
And I think that's kind of a natural flow for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey,
We're gonna get a second diagonal here.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
Quick thing, have you, to the audience out there, have you noticed that did Figma update the short key of removing, I think, ungrouping? Is it command backspace? Or I guess in Windows it's control backspace. Just curious. That's a nice, cool little update there.
I've got the question out to my team live, and I've got one person saying, yeah, I've got one person saying, I don't think so. Command Shift plus G. But a lot of times too, something I actually didn't realize until recently is that there's multiple shortcuts for certain things. Like I use, and also in different locations too, like on different types of keyboards. I remember there was somebody who I used the shortcut Command / a lot, and it wasn't working on a German keyboard. And I think that one is like Command P or something. So different places have different shortcuts, and then they're like for frame you can use A or you can use F, so there's a couple of different ones out there.
Mm.
Good to know.
Look at Grace plans here, or the marquee. That's really cool.
Mhm.
This is such a different vibe from her usual
Yeah.
style, which is on grid, right? So definitely breaking it up.
I didn't even see the grid on there this
Well,
time.
and also
She
just
went rogue. Get it, girl.
Yeah. Just the uniqueness of, again, both of them are going in completely different directions with the general style. Like it looks like Nicolo's taken like a little brutalist approach, a little more, poppy in your face. It looks like he's going to bring in some of those geometric shapes and kind of like interesting colors there. He's got pulled in as inspiration, where Grace has taken like a little calmer approach with a little soft gradient, a little more corporate feel. So yeah, it's just gonna get two completely different dishes at the end of this meal here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I
Grand
see
Raymond,
with this
yeah.
tape. What's that, Nicolo?
No, I mean, like, it's always like that. Again, every time, like, everyone, it seems that we always take, like, two different directions, even if, the topic is the same.
Yeah.
It's crazy how, like, basically brains think, like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you could probably have 3 or 4 designers, and there would be 3 or 4 completely different directions. I bet they, it's so specific to the individual styles or taste, or even like what color was your first inspiration. So, Nicolo went for that dark inspiration, which I don't know if that set the tone or if he had like ideas for the shapes before he kind of picked the color. But again, I don't know how much even just that color tone matches the vibe or the weight of the design,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is a fun one. Like you can really go any way you want. There's almost no rules. Initially, I was thinking about
I think
putting together
that's-
some street collage style, but that seemed a little too complex. Yeah, what were you saying, Eric?
Yeah, no, I'm glad to see some of the street style and collage style made it in, because I think that graphic design aspect, especially combined with sports and movement and the bright colors, just gives you a lot to play with. That I'm really curious to see if any of these elements are going to be used to kind of replicate any of those collages or streetwear lockups you've got on the mood board.
I hope
I think
so.
there's a lot of fun there to be had.
We spent some time creating these custom assets, so maybe they'll be creative, especially these arrows. Like you can do so much with that, and just really point it around certain CTAs, or once you put imagery in there, cool little action like comic book action vibes or whatnot.
Mm-hmm. This one is one I want to do. I think if I can find some free time this weekend, I might take a stab at it and see what happens, because
Nice.
I'm inspired by this one. Yeah.
Cool.
I will be interested to see, sports is like soccer, especially, it seems like so trendy right now. It's so exciting. Sports in general is so dynamic. How will that translate into the designs, right? I kind of expect to see, even though they're ticketing sites, I kind of expect to see a little of that like raucous nature of a sporting event. It's going a little fast, a little like in your face. And I think Nicolo style maybe lends itself a little to that. So I'm going to be interested to see how Grace brings a little of that into it here in this, like in these next sections. And I don't know. It's always fun midway to see them problem solving in real time,
Yeah, it's really funny to me just how subjective design is, because like you're saying all of that, Reimar, and you're referring to Nicolo's, and everything you're saying, I think about Grace's right now. The angled makes it dynamic and adds a lot of movement and motion to it. It's so just how subjective this can be. That's always interesting to me, see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Look at Nicolo tackling, I believe, the CTA section and just using that full-on image. That's really cool. Such different vibes. This is going to be an interesting choice. I feel bad for Corey and Johnny, who will be judging. Sometimes I feel like that's the hardest position.
We should have like you got to set up like a backstage cam with them.
Yeah.
You got to set up a cam that they can't like hear us, but we could like see the judges watching behind the scenes.
Right,
you can totally tell that it's not their first time anymore.
Yeah, 5 minutes left in the first half.
Go ahead.
FYI, 5 minutes.
Here you've got Johnny and Corey in the comments saying, "Oh, don't feel bad," and then Corey saying, "I literally love both of them." So, yeah, the judges are.
Yeah. It's a good question from Isabel. I think I'm going to hold on to that one for the break.
But sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, Reimar, what were you saying?
It looks.
No, I was saying Devin was just time concerns about hoping they don't get caught up on the table and the designing tables and I hope that's not the question you were talking about with the tables, designing tables.
For product designers, that is definitely something you can get just fixated on and tweaking the padding for each row or column. But no, I think they've done a good job. They're seasoned veterans now.
Especially jumping from desktop to mobile on those like long spanning columns.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the table components in Relume, I know it's a plug, but I think it's pretty cool. Like, check it out. It is responsive, and if you're working on Webflow, it's pretty cool to put in these table components. Pretty hard to build on your own.
That's one of like the biggest pieces of feedback I've gotten from like when I ask people what's the hardest thing to do in Figma, or like what do you need help with. The tables comes up so much.
Yes.
And I love to I like to encourage people, like especially things like tables, if you need a place to start with it, just go into the Figma community and like somebody else has probably done it and you can start with that. It's the community, I feel like, is such a good spot to like start. It's all open source stuff. Like you don't have to kind of waste your time trying to figure it all out. If you need to like get it done quickly, it's really helpful to have a good starter place for sure.
For sure.
Do you see Devin's comment here? Says, "I love designers' design face. Nicolo's is like a confused and lost boy, and Grace is like she saw a scary ghost."
That's Devin Fontaine. Thank you.
Devin.
Thank you.
It's Devin Fountain, by the way. I've been corrected.
Fountain Fontaine.
Shout out to Devin for who literally did the same thing to me the other day.
Yeah.
Kind of an inside joke.
He's like, "You keep trying to make my name more fancy than it is."
You were so convincing on it the last time that you had a stream within Devin, Reimar. I DM'd Devin and I was like, "Have I been pronouncing your last name wrong for 6 months?" You were just so committed to it, man.
All right,
I
two
am
and a
just
half
blown
minutes left.
fast. Look
This
at,
is
like,
so
I
fast.
think we need to cut it in half. I think we need to be done at the 15-minute mark. Grace is already practically done. This is insane.
Yeah, wow.
Well, I don't know if it comes through on the stream or not, but Grace is so far into it that the artboard is actually chopping off her footer at the moment. She's gotten so much done. She's outgrown the artboard.
2 minutes left.
Oh, that's fun.
This is
and
so.
this is where again I think so.
good.
Josh, this is what I was talking about a little bit before. There definitely seems to be like a core strategy to approach it here, and they've both kind of taken maximal advantage of it. I think it is break the canvas off to the left and then wireframe and break up all your components before halftime. Like you have to be fully completed with something in every place by halftime, so you can take that time to kind of like look at your canvas, figure out what you want to do, and then spend the second half really just adjusting, making any you know, like I guess any last minute adjustments, modifying the design, then going from there. I think everyone else that I've seen not get to that place by halftime has always kind of struggled to get to the end, and then they're scrambling to slap a couple things in the last minute to finish the footer or do whatever.
Yeah, and this is what Tommy
There's a methodology forming here.
Yeah, he mentioned that too. Like this time blocking yourself in half an hour forces you to just explore different art directions like really quickly. And honestly, that's where you want when you start. You just want to go really quick. Don't, fight the urge to get into the details. Keep it very high level. And with all these assets available, that's the best thing to do, right? So, yeah.
The worst thing you can do when designing is like fall in love with your first idea and never explore the other 20 that might have been better. You always got to go through that sketching phase where you just let's throw 100 variations of this mark out there, and like even if we hate them all and we think we love the first one, you still want to explore just because you never know what you're going to stumble into. So I think that's as much of the process as like the finished design work is that early sketching phase and the ideation phase, and making sure you give that its due.
And you don't want to interrupt that. You want to enter that flow
10,
state.
9.
Speaking
8,
of flow state,
7, 6.
Rymar is running
5,
State of Flow.
4,
and
3.
nice point
2,
for him. He's
1.
running a lot of amazing events. And with that, we're gonna hand it over to Rymar for questions to Grace and Niccolò.
Oh, yeah. I guess the question I would ask is how, like, are you feeling like a RDL veteran now? Like, do you feel much more comfortable kind of going through with the time restriction? It looks like you both got so much of your board kind of framed out here. So we'll kick it off to Grace first. What do you, what advantage do you have here after kind of being on this, I think it's your third time, right? Your third time competing?
Yeah, I think in both my previous matches, my focus in the first 15 was really laying out all of the sections and then using the second half to refine. And that's my same approach here. I think my downfall in some of the previous matches was not using enough of the Relume components that are pre-built. So that's my approach this time, is like some custom sections, but using the assets that are available there. So that's where I'm at right now. But
Nice.
Nicolo, same question.
Yeah, no, I agree with Grace. It's more comfortable right now because you're starting like to be like automatized, right? So you can immediately understand and manage the time. But right now, like different strategy that I used from like last time is to more, I guess, like stay focused on the wireframes that you provide and not like completely rethink it in order like to save a little bit of time, even if for the mistake that I did last time. And so I'm more, I would like basically like to put the brutalism because I like these four final reference here. So I base the art direction on the brutalism, and then I'm going to basically use right now we are the football players, and I also like find interesting also like this kind of like handwriting touch, because I think that would be interesting to use on this design. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, so he's like putting the structure in and then Second half, he's gonna put all the fine touches, the playful assets and all that. Yeah. All right, 2.5 minutes in the break. Eric, do you have a question for them? Oh yeah, you want to bring up that question from I think Isabel?
Oh, Eric, you're on mute.
Eric, you are on mute, or
Thank you, appreciate that. So Isabel's question for the designers: do you incorporate certain design elements that you think will be popular with the audience, or do you purely focus on what your design preferences are and the assets that were given? Grace, you want to start?
Yeah, I think, oh gosh, I don't know. I don't think I'm necessarily catering to this audience, but I'm definitely catering to the audience of the intended site. So in this case, soccer fans of publicity. But yeah, not catering it specifically to the YouTube audience, but mostly just going on my gut of what a sports fan, a soccer fan would want to see here.
Nice. Nicolo, what about you?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question. I'm sorry. I was.
Oh no, are you
again?
taking into account the YouTube audience's preferences when you're picking elements, or are you purely going off of what you feel will work best for the project?
No, this time I'm just freestyling. So I'm just like have some focus on the mood board and on the sport assets. So I immediately recognize what I like, and then I follow that thinking, and I'm structuring basically the layout.
Hey, by the way, I totally forgot to announce the mystery items. So people have chosen mystery item
I was
A.
wondering what it was because I haven't used it yet.
Sorry about that. It's the feathers. It's the angel feathers. So, so there's the twist for the match today. Lauren, with 30 seconds left, any comments?
There's actually a really good question that somebody asked. As now that you're both veterans, do you see this ability to build such a great design in 30 minutes? Do you kind of bring that back to your own work now and be like, okay, maybe I don't need to focus so much. Maybe I can just get this done.
No.
He goes, hard no.
Absolutely no. Absolutely no. It's something that I also discuss with Josh. When you need to think another way. This is like a competition. When you work for a client, you work for a project. You need to have a visual strategy. You need to think about things. You need to understand the functionality. You need to understand the go-to-market. So it's completely different. This is the design that stays just here and doesn't have any purpose in the long way. In the case when you have clients, you work on a big budget. It's completely different. So no, absolutely no.
Nice. Grace, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't rush my client work like this. I think it's a really interesting exercise, but I would echo pretty much everything that Nicolo said. When I'm doing my client work, I really want to be focused on our goals, the visual brand language. And this is a really nice exercise to kind of do it in a sprint. And it might be something interesting to try at the beginning of a project to sprint your way to a homepage and then still go back and give yourself as much time as you need.
Yeah. Good tool to early concept. Curious how people are going to use these files.
The other thing to think about is you don't have all the assets kind of pre-prepped and perfectly laid out for you like this at the beginning of a client project. Yeah. So.
Can you imagine? If only, hey, imagine the client's hey, I provided all
That's
this
the
for
killer
you.
AI right now for design, right?
Could you just
you
put it all together?
Design spec and it does this for you.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Are you ready to jump back in? 3, 2. Oh, I got to use this voice here. Let's get ready to build.
Oh my God.
Design. Sorry, I ruined that.
I love it. That's great.
Live stream, baby. Beauty of live stream. All right.
Live is always good. So good. Yeah, this is always fun to see after they've had a moment to sit and think what they go back to, because that's what they've been kind of thinking was the most neglected. So I'm always excited to see how they approach going right back into it and what they think is the most important thing they should be focused on immediately.
Yeah.
I see a comment by Maria Martins. Nicolo is definitely European. I don't know what that means, but maybe it shows off in his design. We love Maria. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this, give us a thumbs up and like. Show us some love. That would be great. Isaac, Megan.
There was a
Grace is killing it. Yeah, go for it, Eric.
yeah. I'll say there was a comment or question right before break about fonts. I'm trying to find what it was.
Okay.
Oh, it was from Gerard. Can designers use any font, or can they just use them from a specific bank? And Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're still sponsored by Pangram, and so
That's right. So
all of the fonts being used today are from the PP library.
Yes. Yeah. They're great. Speaking of fonts, let's go and see. Let's check out Grace, what she's using. Eric, you wanna?
Absolutely. Let me get over to Grace's board. And so right here in the header, her go-to font is New Montreal. And then she kind of carries that through. I do believe she's using that on almost every element down the page and just changing the style as needed for the purpose that it's serving. So she is New Montreal all the way.
So good. And then let's go
shout
over
out to Waldo and Benton, by the way.
Oh.
Nice.
Are they here?
Yeah, Waldo and Benton. So some design and Webflow OGs in the house here, you know. Some
Nice.
all star players in the house.
Waldo. Shout
Wonderful
out
to
to
see
Web
everybody in the
Prince.
chat.
Benton, if you guys haven't heard of this champ, he speaking of third place, he came third place in the last tournament. So check it out on our YouTube channel. Okay, yeah. Actually, hey, Lauren, do you mind listing out or identifying what the fonts are for Niccolò?
Yeah, let's see. We've got PP Formula on the top over here. Looks like same thing right over here, but this one looks like a different one. We've got PP Frankton Sands. I don't know if anybody else does this, but when I read fonts out loud, sometimes I say them like totally differently in my head, and then I read them out loud. I'm like, that's not what I thought it was. Frankton Sands going down the page. So it looks like we've got two different ones going on. This more kind of like elongated one over here, and then a little bit more condensed, which is awesome.
Cool. Niccolò's moving.
I was thinking about this with the last. I think it was the last challenge, or one of the most recent ones, that one of the mystery or mystery like challenges was you could only use one font, I think. And I was like, that one, I feel like that's doable. That's basically what Grace is doing right now. That one, I was like, if I was designing in that one, that's the one that I'd want to do because it's definitely doable.
All right.
we got some thoughts in the crowd asking about Niccolò's CTA here, his little arrow. I'm interested to see if he leaves that as like, okay, now he's duplicating it. So that's why we're wondering what the treatment of that's going to be or where that's headed next. I think people are interested to see how he ties that together in the design here.
He's fully embracing this
Under pressure.
Expressive brutalist vibe. So different. And Grace is staying true to Angel City's brand colors. It's a gradient of orange and pink. Really cool that she picked out this purple. Nice. It really complements it.
Some nice complementary color. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, we have 10 minutes remaining. Good pace, really. It's so enjoyable now. I think, you two can really just keep having fun with certain sections. Make sure you use those custom assets if you want. Hint, hint.
Yeah, Grace has one of them in on her news section. Yep.
Right here, yeah. And it's those small little things that just add those, just little dabbles of delight all over. And it's the same thing here. So she's creating consistency. Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna get the quote terribly wrong, but it's something Dan Petty has hammered home over his years of the small details adding up to one big thing. And it's really difficult to get to that level in a 30-minute match like this. But I think we're starting to see some of it come through with, both Nicolo and Grace having 3 goes at this, focusing on the details. It's coming through.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, what are the people saying? Hey, earlier on, I see a lot of soccer fans, or should I say football, like Chelsea, Man U, Liverpool. But this is I didn't do enough research, but yeah, just the local LA or American League. I think it's NWSF or something like that. I'm totally butchering the acronym, but brand new. This just got launched last year, at least with their brand, their new brand colors. Yeah, go check out Angel City's YouTube channel. They actually have really, really good like media content. And like for all of the designers, they actually have a video just explaining their logo, the crest. Really cool. I love that.
I love diving into athletic brands. Go ahead, Lauren.
I was just going to say, I like Isabel's comment in the chat a little bit up, saying, I wonder if they feel like they have a fresh pair of eyes on the design going back into it after a break. There's nothing like sleeping on a design and getting a fresh perspective the next day. I feel like that's like, you're not a designer if you haven't like gone to bed freaking out about something and then the next morning you're like, oh, it's literally this. Like I can just do this. Or you wake up and you're like, who did that? That's disgusting. What is going on here? Like I feel like a fresh night's sleep, even though it's like 15 minutes of walking away, just totally can be like, wait a minute, what was I thinking? What's going on?
Yeah, let me know in the chat, like, how do you guys reset your eyeballs and your creative juices? Do you go for a walk? Do you sleep it? Do you go for, you go out and eat some food? Yeah, what's the best way to like quickly reset and then get back into it? Give us your tips and tricks, all the hacks. Oh, I see.
Gosh, what's the item
here?
The angel wing.
Nicolo's design.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, cool.
Fun
fact,
Grace, I just assumed you took both of them from the color and the angles.
Founded by Natalie Portman, which is pretty crazy.
Really?
I was doing more research, like, whoa, pretty awesome.
Getting some feedback from chat about how they do a refresh and.
Or is it me?
We can hear you.
Can I hear you, Eric?
I'm gonna keep going and let Josh figure out his live stream. But interesting comments coming from the YouTube chat.
People can hear everyone else on the stream.
We can hear you, Josh, and yeah, I'm hearing everyone.
I do hear the sound going, but well, this is going to be an interesting stream.
You've lost
I can't
all the
hear anyone. Let's see here.
Oh, no.
That's hilarious.
5 minutes left.
This is like all the fun of live streaming, and Josh is back there flying solo now.
Yeah,
we'll have to carry the show for him.
We got you, Josh.
Yep. Josh just pushed the button. In fact,
yeah.
That's kind of the bad part, right? Josh can't, turn it off and restart it or refresh the screen or anything.
Right.
He's the producer. So. But yes, going back to the YouTube chat about refreshing your brain and taking a break. Devin Fountain saying when he needs to do that, a good cry is his solution, and I relate to that.
Been there, man. Who has not been there?
I'm gonna sort out my audio issues, so if you guys can keep going, that'd be great.
We're just talking about crying, Josh. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. Benton's saying he totally had this happen to unfold, so Benton can relate.
I always think the funny thing about Figma is like you can have multiple different browsers open, so there can be multiple view in the file. And before we started, I saw there was at least 5 Joshes, so we can just take over the role of Josh 1, 2, and 3, and Josh 4 will figure
That's
it
right.
out.
Yes.
That's right.
I never know which Josh to follow in the Figma file.
Me either. That you gotta click them all, right? It's just
Too many of me.
lottery. There you go. He's back.
Josh, you back?
I can hear you guys, but I cannot hear music. But this happened once before. But hey, you know what? This is the fun of live stream.
Yes, absolutely. Good question coming in from Adam that maybe we can save for when they're done designing.
Sure.
But,
Yeah, let's do that.
yeah, that's a.
Hey, by the way, if you are interested in joining next RDL tournaments, go to our website and sign up. We are always looking for awesome players and even our exhibitions. So go to relumedesignleague.com and yeah, sign the form.
Yeah, Josh, you mentioned exhibition matches. Are we going to try and switch things up and do like some tag team matches at some point?
Yeah, so we were thinking about doing that for this round, but yeah, I think it was just safer to go 1v1. But yeah, maybe RDL 3, if we have enough people and enough teams, we could do like a 2v2. That will change the whole vibe, and yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Or maybe like a 4 versus 4. I don't know.
Even just having like, imagine having 2 minutes or something like that ahead of time for the designers to like just plan. You know,
Yeah.
just to kind of think and sketch or ideate or whatever kind of little thing they might want to just take a second to.
You can have
maybe
a
that
lot of
spoils
fun
it,
with that too. And on like an exhibition match, there's a team of 2, but one of them's designing,
Sorry.
and the other one is choosing the assets they use to design.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So-
that's
You know,
Hey, Grace and Nicolo, you got just over 2 minutes left, okay? Just over 2 minutes. So
Buddy.
let's put on the finishing touches.
Disregard the previous alerting bell.
I
It'd
just
be
figured
great
it was
to-
Josh having a wonderful idea, and that's the sound that comes out of his head. every time he has an idea.
I gotta test some audio stuff here still, but all good.
You're good. Good.
All
Ooh,
right.
Somebody said, what if you did dev competitions? That'd be fun.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. So if you want to sign up for the exhibitions, we are constantly experimenting with different layouts. Last time we did, like 2v2, and we, introduced different mystery challenges or items. So we have so many different ideas. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is coming together. I can't wait for Grace and Nicolo to share their thought process behind this.
Dang, these are so good.
So, Devin saying that someone say dev competitions. I'm just going to call out Adam since I know he's listening in the chat. But I miss the days when Adam would hop on and be put on the spot and have to develop something in an hour. I want to see that come back.
Yeah. Hey,
Got him.
while we're on that topic, I mean, there's a lot of noise with the framer community. They're like, we could do it faster, and so we're in talks. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what might happen down the road?
Somebody just said it would be fun if the opposing team could sabotage the other, like halfway through they get to disable an asset. What if they had to switch designs halfway through? That would be crazy.
We have done that.
happened once.
Oh, yeah?
So go to our YouTube channel. We
20
have a
seconds, by the way, guys.
Christmas extravaganza, and the people called for it. It was nasty.
Love it.
It was wild.
It was
10,
nasty, yeah.
9, 8, 7, 6,
All right,
5,
everyone.
4, 3, 2, 1.
That's it. Woohoo!
Ooh.
Well done.
Nice
well
job.
done.
Let me see if you push effort. Let me see. Okay. I told you. I'm ready.
Fantastic. Great job. Great job.
Yeah.
You are done. That's it. No more matches. You've finished. That is so
Yeah,
great.
but Josh, I'm very sad about this because it's kind of like a, like a hobby that you can have, during the weekend, during the week, like
Yeah.
winter time, like go outside, during it's very cozy as like, I don't know how to say it, but it's a very good feeling.
Oh, cool. Well, hey, man, if you like that, you are more than welcome to come back on exhibitions or
Absolutely,
yeah,
I
yeah.
have the fun. Super fun.
Okay, well, Grace, shall we start with you? You want to kick it off? Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, let me follow you. Or yeah, let's see if we can hit play on your wireframe.
Yeah, I'm on the preview, so if you can get there when we're good.
We are loading up. While that's loading up, I just want to remind everyone that we have our guest judges, Corey Moe and Johnny Gomez Alzaga. Ooh, I didn't know there's a third name to that. From Webflow, they will be our judge. So, yeah, so with that, we'll pass it over to Grace. Take it away.
Perfect. All right. So Angel City FC, I think the overall theme for my approach to this page was strong feminine energy. I love women's sports. My personal favorite is women's cycling, but like any professional women's sport, I'm like so on board for, and I think that's awesome. So in this hero section, not another football club, we've got a movement shot, a lot of strength there, and really trying to layer elements to convey both movement, but also I think just the energy of so much going on in a football match. So with this as well, my type choices that I made, I went with PP New Montreal in a bold italic, and then I condensed it further with its tracking to feel very energetic and just like very, very strong. So we're matching the strength of the players with this like very bold typeface that I've carried through the page. So as we scroll down, we get to our schedule section. I did not alter this component very much besides color and typography from the original. I think that an element with this complexity, I was happy to have the Relume component to grab and place in here. Scrolling down further, I'm trying to echo that same layering that we have in the hero section into our news section. This is really where they are talking about their wins, their victories, and so I wanted to bring that same kind of energy from the hero section into here. The switch between that light, kind of pink, very feminine background to something that is a little bit moodier, that almost maroon color, I think it still ties into that strong energy, but it feels a little bit more intimate and yeah, just like a really nice cadence break as well. So featuring images here of victories, maybe some community work that they're doing, things like that. Scrolling down, we've got our merch section. So support your city, shop all merch, and then a nice big full screen image. I think my approach to this was wanting to have a break in the cadence of the page from lots of small elements to something that was really a full-fledged, just to give the user a break as they're scrolling. And it's a fantastic image of like fans who are united by Angel City, and I think that's a great addition there. I ran out of room towards the end of the page, so we're assuming that this footer continues, and we love it. But finishing up the page with the roster, layering some really big type behind these isolated headshots. And I think pairing them with that dark background makes them feel, I think, like a really nice special contrast to the background where we've got that light pink. So all of these colors together, I think that strong feminine sport energy, lots of movement was really the basis for this.
All right. Beautiful. That was so tasty. All right. We are now going to pass it over to Nicolo. Let me swap over here.
Well, guys, I need to tell you, this is not my style for sure. So it's probably from a technical perspective completely wrong. It might be.
Hey, Nicolo,
But
do
yeah, I
you
mean,
want to
like,
hit play at the in the prototype, and then we can just follow you there? Just be better for
oh yeah,
presentation wise, yeah. Just let the prototype load up a bit. Things are loading. Okay, cool.
correct.
Yes.
Yeah, looks like okay. Uh, yeah, so basically, I have like these navbars that should be sticky on the top. So meanwhile, you're scrolling, it basically like the navbar goes up and down and goes out of view and into view when you scroll down again. You have like this side slider, this like split screen slider where you can change the image here, and I have like some intersets over it by mixing up like the text with some elements. And then I use these breakdown lines basically to divide any section. This is not supposed to be animated, it's just static. And here there is like the section with the board. And then instead this one is like a marquee. So it means that meanwhile you scroll inside the page, basically like the circle should be supposed to move. So the back container, so the container rest stay fixed, and marquee, the inner marquee moving inside. And then there is like these basically like slider, 3 grid slider with the 50% on the left, and then we have 25% and 25% on the right for the second and third element. And then eyebrows, title, call to action. I explored like these call to action here. Oh shit. I just like my coffee like on my mouth, like literally, like literally. Okay. But yeah, I mean, like this one is these are just like static movements. So it's supposed to be that when you hover over, you have like kind of like a clipping mask and masking effect. So it's supposed to be like that inner image scale up, and the container basically scale down with the set overflow. Basically, when you hover, you have like this kind of like parallax or over effect when you hover over the image. Okay, my mouse doesn't work anymore, of course. And then there is like this breakdown section here where I gathered some images that I found very interesting. And imagine that, consider that all these, like all the art direction behind the website and the landing page, it's basically viewed by like this screen. So when I look at it, I immediately like fell in love with this kind of like overlapping style and brutalism that reminds a lot, side project of Nike. I worked also like on a project for the Roger Hub that is basically like a collection shoes line for Roger Federer. And I remember that I collect all the idea that was quite similar. And I immediately fell in love with this one because I remember actually that probably I collected probably like the same kind of like also like screenshots. So it's crazy. At the end, it didn't was like brutalist because like the client didn't like the reference, by the way. But yeah, I mean like this one is like a slider. So I wanted to build something more, unique and overlapping by following basically the same structure here. And I build like this kind of like irregular slider grid with some rotation on every element and every item. And then I found interesting like these lines here that you can see here on this part, like the yellow lines, the edge yellow.
Oh.
And I reproduce that and I say, okay, where we can use it. And at the end, I suppose like initially like I thought to use that vertically, maybe on some slide or something. And then I said, maybe I can use it as a breakdown to divide the main container page wrapper to basically the footer. So I use it here to break down that. I use these elements that is probably like the mystery items. I build this free grids column by using travelnetcrypto.com as Sydney as sponsorship. And then I basically copy and paste the footer with the choose strip label on the side, taken from the screenshot from here. So it's not, I from like a strategy standpoint, I didn't want to think from like an animated standpoint. That's something that I did in the first 2 match. But I realized that there is no purpose. I mean, you can think about that, but if you think about over animated, you're losing time to think animation, that probably you don't have animation at the end. And you're losing time, obviously, to take a look at the resources and the art direction and the assets you have. So it's better if you initially look at the wireframe, starting to think how you can stylize with everything, and stand out the functionality of the website, and then look at the other direction. You pick some of the elements, and from of that element, you can basically like build everything. So it's something that I followed like in the steps. It was so much easier in the process.
Okay, fantastic. That's it, Niccolò?
Yeah, that's it.
Good stuff. I feel like that was a little teaser of his masterclass there, this thought process.
Yeah, I'm getting to use that, right?
Yeah.
Very.
So, Niccolò, hey, if you want right now, you can quickly go and grab some paper, tissue paper, and just clean up your coffee spill, and I'll bring it over to Reimar just to get his thoughts. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, I just, to be honest, when I first saw Grace's colors and even just some of the early shapes, and I was making that comment about, I wonder how she's going to bring some of the sports vibe to it.
Yeah.
First, where it is now, it's like a million. Like this feels like like an enterprise ticket site, that you might find online for some actual soccer team. So it's just I'm just never cease to be blown away by how these come together. And then as I go over to Niccolo's, there's parts of this that I really love, especially like the way he did the little the roster section. Mm-hmm. There's just so much energy and vibe here. It almost looks like an ESPN magazine spread also. So I don't know. It's just two completely different takes. I don't know that I'm in love with kind of some of these colors and so there were some comments about the marquee maybe not fitting, but I don't know. I think that's part of the exploration process. I think that's part of the brutalist vibe, is sometimes clashing with the end user, is kind of giving you those hard breaks. And that's part of that brutalist style, is really just kind of shocking the visuals in certain places. So I don't really have any questions, just some thoughts and seeing the projects evolve and being really impressed with every time, just seeing the creative process unfold like that.
Yeah, so good. So polls are open, everyone. And right now, Corey and Johnny are just calculating the votes there. So, Lauren, what are your thoughts on feedback on this? So different. They're two different takes.
So different. It's crazy. I also just love how different they are from the previous ones that they've done, like specifically Grace's. I think the amount of layering that she used in this one, like up on the top, we've got the woman, and then we've got these assets, and then we've got even more just kind of like details, scribbles in the back. So much layering going on here, which I think makes it so awesome. I love it. And it's just so different than what she's done in the past, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
I saw somebody ask, like, knowing this is your last round, did you kind of go like, let me do whatever. Let me just try something out, which I'm super curious to hear. And then on Niccolò's, I love that he goes into how it would, the interactions that would happen, kind of like the parallax scrolling, and goes into all the details of that to really kind of make me envision how this would be seen if it was actually on a website. I love that he's thinking about that as he's going. Two totally different things. Love them both.
Yeah. And
tight crowd vote too here.
I know.
Very tight. Yeah.
This is another tight one, Grace. What's going on?
Man. Got my nerves shot over here.
But I think I would assume both of you have really enjoyed this one. And at the end of the day, it's cliche, but it's true. Like, it takes a lot to go through this, and the pace that you did, even in the 15-minute mark, that's a huge accomplishment. So you're both winners to me. Right now, it's just for formalities. But so with that, Eric, let's hear your final thoughts.
Yeah, I don't have too many thoughts that are different than Reimar and
Sure.
Lauren's already in the chat. But a question for both of them before we unveil kind of everything. Y'all have done this 3 times now. Now that you've done it, what's one piece of advice you would give to other designers that want to take part in the RDL in the future?
I think just go for it. I was so scared to do this initially because I was worried about clients judging me and other designers judging me based on what I could do in 30 minutes. But I've had so much fun during this. I've had clients watch this stream, and I think it's only solidified how much joy I have for design, and hopefully that's come across, because like this is just so fun.
For sure.
That's so awesome.
Nicolo, what about you?
Sorry, what was the question?
It was now that you've done this 3 times,
great
what's one piece of
conversation
advice you would give to other designers who are going to partake in the RDL?
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
like
spill your
design
coffee.
that start their career.
No, advice.
that?
Advice for those who want to join RDL, future RDL members. What advice would you give?
No, I mean, this is so much fun, like Grace said. This is something that everyone should do it, because you can compete first with yourself and understand what kind of like achievement and it's kind of like a challenge to yourself. And if you can do this in 30 minutes, it means that you can do so much better in 3 hours.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're gonna announce it. We are over time, but this is good. We got 113 people live, and we are going to announce the winner. It is a unanimous vote. So hang on here. The winner for 3rd place, RDL2, the champ who has toughed it through 3 matches. Give it up, everyone, for Nicolo Miranda.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
All right.
Really
Nicely
appreciate it.
done.
Thanks, Grace.
Speech.
Thanks.
Yeah. Final speech plug. Thanking. Oh, look at that.
The Mexican Awards did it for me, for crazy. So this is my trophy.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But no, I mean, this is so fun. I just wanted to say thanks to you guys because you're amazing. Like any one of you, you did this championship a truly remarkable challenge and thing. Because as I said before, you can challenge to yourself, and this is something new. This is something that I never seen before, and finally. We can demonstrate ourselves also in public, and it's something that nobody did before. So I really need to say thank to you, and also to anyone like Joseph, Damo, Grace. It was so much fun. I'm so grateful for this. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Nicolo. And Grace, final words.
Yeah, just thanks so much for organizing this and having me on, and to Nicolo for being an awesome competitor today. It's been so fun and something new to try, and I'm thankful that I got to be part of this kind of second version, because I'm hopeful that there'll be many more.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Grace. So appreciate you both. And we're gonna do something different. We're gonna start with Lauren. Lauren, any final thoughts, and then we'll go with the Eric and then end up with Primar.
You're both winners in my heart. This was so fun to watch. And just, I think I've said it every time that I've been on here, but I could never do this. I'm so amazed at how much we were both able to accomplish in 30 minutes, and even the 15-minute mark. It was insane. So you can totally tell, even just in these last couple of matches, seeing you both from the first ones to the last ones, how much you've grown in this. It's so cool to see. So great job.
Yeah, a lot of the same for me. Just kind of repeating what Lauren said. It is always a blast to watch 2 designers go head to head and see how the styles come into play and the elements that are used. And this one was one of the most fun for the unique elements that were used and how you both applied them in different ways. So at the end of the day, it's kind of cliche, but you're both winners. You both did an excellent job, and I hope you're proud of the work you did today, because it was incredible.
Nice. Yeah. I will follow along in that. This is a creative process on demand here, to be creative, under fire, people are watching, You're second guessing decisions, I'm sure. So kudos to all of you for showing up, and thanks to everyone for watching. This has been a blast to put this together. What is it, like next week we got the finals, and this has just been a lot of fun to be a part of and watch and kind of get to sit back. Sometimes I get lost, not even wanting to speak, just kind of like looking and seeing like how are they gonna do this. And so like you just want to watch yourself. So anyway, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for letting us be a part of it.
All right, that wraps it up, guys. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. Follow everyone here on Twitter. We have their Twitter handles there. Just spam them with DMs. That'd be great. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. All right, tune in next week for the finals. Joseph Berry versus Dan Mall, the match for the ages, and it's going to be a really good one. A quick reminder to download these files when they're out, and have fun with them. Hashtag RDL2 on Twitter, and we'll announce some giveaway prizes. So with that, I'm your host, Josh Lowe. You've been watching the Relume Design League. Keep on winning, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.